We need to see what happens in the scale of the vote, but I think if, as expected, the deal is voted down, and it's very clear, and I suspect it will be, I think it's important that we change direction. This deal will have been rejected. It could still be remedied if the EU were willing to look again, particularly at the backstop, and particularly making clear that we had transitioned to a free trade agreement, not this sort of hybrid of a customs union and single market.
The EU have been absolutely clear that this is not only the best deal on the table, it's the only deal on the table. I mean, you were Brexit Secretary and you didn't manage to get them to drop the backstop, so it's fancy politics, isn't it?
Well, of course, the EU would say that right now. They want this deal to pass because it is incredibly good terms for the EU. It is also a lousy deal for the United Kingdom, and I have had 4.5 months' experience negotiating with the EU, and I think it's very clear they will not want to see no deal. That is now a much higher possibility, even possibly probability.
So how do you know that then? Is the conversations that you were having as Brexit Secretary? Or?
Well, I knew from my time, as I've written in the Sunday Telegraph today, that there were moments in the negotiation where we could have pressed harder on the backstop, particularly around the exit mechanism. Now, the EU hung tough, and I'm afraid we just weren't firm enough about that. It's always harder to go back in a negotiation, so I'm not saying it would be easy, but I certainly wouldn't give up. And ultimately, if we go back and the EU continue to rebuff the perfectly reasonable proposals we're making, we do need to be willing to contemplate and prepare for leaving on WTO terms.